we can finally finish the job. That's right. Not only do we have the Wix replacement filter for our special Volvo, and I think you'll notice there's something different about this filter. That's right, Volvo is very special. It doesn't require a spin-on or spin-off filter like all the other cars out there. And what that means is you're gonna need this. And if I had a pocket knife, all right, utility knife. Don't you like these unboxing videos? They're awesome. This, it's the Volvo specialty oil filter removal tool. Not oil filter retention cup. I don't know, it's the plastic piece that goes around that oil filter, which is jammed into and around the engine compartment. Well, we'll show you underneath, so let's just get into it. Well, here we are under the vehicle, and this is the one oil filter removal tool that I did not have in my box of oil filter removal tools. What we have here is basically the Volvo Special Needs oil filter removal tool. It's 86 millimeters by 16 faucets. So it's just 86 by 16, and what the 16 is, there are 16 of these little flats, and those engage the plastic filter like so. And it's for a standard 3/8" socket. You know, by the way, you use a 17 millimeter to get the actual oil filter drain plug removed. Now don't empty your oil before you get this tool, because if you do, you might be in for a world of hurt as you wait 3 weeks for this particular specialty item and your car is just sitting there. There we go. Now I'm going to see if I could crack it free before emptying the oil. So let's see. There we go, we got it loose. So that's good. I guess at this point we're going to go ahead and just empty the oil from the plug. That's 17 millimeters. Let's go ahead and try and aim this. And okay, well, it's like I said, it's cracked open. Now it'd be nice if you can, you know, warm the car up first. We've been having 90-degree days, so it's warm enough. So let's just get this going. There we go. Look at how black that is. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but there's no, it looks good. There's no apparent, of course it's dark under here, and I can't see very much, but see if I can bring you in on this. That actually looks pretty good. Let me get it in the sun, or here's some light. Oh, it looks really nice. So, no need to send this to the lab. But there's, I think the washer is still left. Whoa, we're getting one all on the ground here. Hello, hello. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Whoa, the wind's blowing too. Let's have a little chat about drain plugs. Well, here's the Volvo one. I wire wheeled it, made it look nice. It's gonna rust off in a day. But you always need a washer to go between the oil pan and the drain plug, and that's to seal it. And as you can see, it's still up on the pan. So normally you want to replace that washer, but when you get your performance tool 110-piece copper washer set, it doesn't have the Volvo size. Now, why should we be surprised at this point? So we're going to reuse the existing one. At least it's clean. There we go, that's clean. All right, so we put some oil dry down. Let's tighten this, snug this up. Now, many of you are probably wondering what the torque spec is. It's 1, 2, 3, and then we hear a click in our head. So that's what it is. And that's from our special needs Volvo manual. All right, now we're gonna very carefully bring our full pan of oil right through here in case we get any spillage, which we no doubt will. And it's gonna go everywhere, but we're gonna try and be ready anyway to catch it. I'm sure it'll get all over my arm and then run down my elbow and then into my shirt and up my armpit. But because you're special, we're gonna do it anyway. Here we go, here we go, there we go. Let's move this a little bit here. And let's drain this. And the one nice thing about this is that you can pull the filter and open it up. You don't need a little spin-on, spin-off filter can opener if you wanted to do a metal assessment. So I generally just throw them out. You know, it is what it is. We're not going to do anything about it anyway, so we're going to just change the oil. And just go ahead and clean this up a bit, just so that we don't have oil dripping everywhere. And make sure there aren't any gasket material up in there. Oh, I don't see any. Now on this, you'll want to make sure you remove the old O-ring. Ow, I just hurt my finger. And there's that one. And replace it with the new one. Well, let's just clean this a little. Remove the excess. You want a little bit. Okay. So we can. So let's just seat that down in there with a little pop. Let's get this ring around there. Come on now. And there it is. Now normally we'd fill this up with oil. Yeah, why not? We're gonna show you how to do it right, so let me get up again. Now, in keeping the theme with special, this Volvo uses 5 quarts, more or less. Not 4, but 5. So when you go and get your oil, you got to buy yourself an extra quart. And notice that this is O'Reilly's special Volvo mix. So make sure you ask them for the special Volvo mix when you go to the counter. And yeah, there's that. Let's see if we can do this without spilling it everywhere. Okay. Whoa. Now, let's make sure we wet that O-ring. We should have dunked it in the oil, but we didn't. Boy, this holds quite a bit of oil. Let's do it again. We want to make sure it goes on smoothly and nicely. That's why we're bothering with all this nonsense. Well, I think it can hold some more. Whoa, perfect. All right, now let's go and spin it back on, making sure not to cross thread. Oh, I'm still turning. Still turning, still turning, still turning. There it's seated. A lot of resistance. Okay. Now, how do we get this off? Now, you might be tempted to just leave it on there for the next guy, because if you go to Jiffy Lube or Prompto Lube or one of those, they're probably not going to have the adapter. So, but I'm going to try and get it off. Oh, come on, man. Wow, this is the... Huh. There we go. Let's wipe it off. Now, normally, what we do is write the mileage and the date that we changed the filter, but because we're not replacing the entire filter and canister, we're gonna have to put a little tag in the car. Well, that's that. And so the only thing different about this and every other oil change is that Volvo is special. Special oil filter, special oil filter removal tool, special oil filter drain plug crush washer, and special oil. It's just special. Let's go fill the top. As we said, Volvo special. We're using the special 5WD-30. So if you go to the FCP Euro site, they'll tell you how to do all this other special stuff, like use the Moly super synthetic 1 quart engine flush and then run your engine and put it in with the 4 other quarts of super duper synthetic, all the dinosaur minerals and goodness. We're not doing that. We're doing a cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean less than $50. It used to be less than $22.95, but because we have 5 quarts and we have a special filter, it's going to be less than $50. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. On here, it says Castrol, recommended, Castrol. Ooh, that looks a little gunky, a little carbonated, as in has some carbon on it. See, I'm trying to reach. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off. All right, we're gonna just brush this off with a little nylon brush. Wow, this is kind of crusty. Anyway, speaking of crusty, you can see we have this section of PVC hose. Don't quote me on that. But it's kind of broken, it's all gunked up. We're not gonna be doing this on this video, but so this is actually the hose. You can see it's quite a bit different than what I pulled off. So clearly this piece is just part of it. This goes all the way down underneath the manifold into the bowels. It's actually an afternoon or more to replace that thing. And usually when you replace it, you might find that the canister that it dumps into is actually all gunked up with those carbon deposits. That's for another day. We're gonna just dump the oil in and call this good so we can go and give this a test drive finally. What the heck is this thing here? Isn't this supposed to be open? It looks like we have a metal blockage over here. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It says this is where we're supposed to put the oil. I think I'd learned by now that we gotta carry one of these around and have it at the ready. Now, this doesn't go in, so, let me start with the quart. Make sure it's going to go down. Yeah, it's going down. It's a good thing you're watching this video, because you'd never know that. All right, 1 quart down, 4 to go. Now, before I finish dumping it all in, I'm gonna go ahead and check the level to make sure we're like, in the ballpark. Now, something special about the Volvo oil dipstick, if we look closely, you can see it says motor on one side, engine on the other. So even Volvo doesn't know if it's a motor or an engine. Hopefully you folks know what it is, because It's going to be on the quiz later. All right, let's just check the, hopefully it does its job and checks the oil level of the engine. Oops, I think I just gave you the answer. Hopefully I put that drain plug back in because I didn't see a reading. This oil is so clean, it's hard to take a reading. Looks like it's right at the top of the XX line. So perfect. 5 quarts of oil. There we go. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying to the end. But before I go, I want to make sure you check those YouTube settings because you never know what Susan's up to these days. This is May 22nd, 2022. And as far as I know, subscriptions are still free and you can still get notifications for when the next new video is released. But sometimes she takes those things and resets them. So check your settings, make sure they're up to date. And thanks for watching. Stay into the end and we'll catch you on the next one. Hillbilly out.